Well, Cammie, we're talking 475 people will be out of a job here very soon. The mill plans to stop operations next month. No one saw this coming. Well, Bill, this is one of the hardest hit areas in Fond du Lac. Take a look. This is where they play high school football. Now it's a giant pond, and it's actually getting bigger. The water is rising, so streets are still closed around here, and people are still evacuated from their homes. I want to show you how steady that has been. This right here is Water Street. Yesterday, well, I could stand here. Not today anymore. It literally is Water Street. And I want to show you, too, how much it's been creeping up Cumberland Street into the city. It's several feet now up towards the city. Now, the other headaches that the floodwaters have been creating is on Highway 49 in the southern part of the city of Berlin. The Jones family met Jay Breyer 14 years ago, just days after 12-year-old Cora Jones disappeared. They had heard that Breyer had been through a similar situation and would know what to do to help. And yet, while they are optimistic and want to do whatever they can to save their jobs, they are also realistic. The union knows this is like David fighting Goliath. Even though the Grahams were okay, their house was not. The tornado ripped off a part of the roof. Soon, it was raining in their home.
This is Action 2 News at 5:30. Coverage you can count on.
Good evening, I'm Natalie Arnold. Students at Holy Apostles Catholic School will have to search for a new school this fall. As Kristen Byrne reports, parish leaders say they're left with no other options because too many students have left. Thanks, Kristen. The parish is looking into using the soon-to-be vacant school building to house an early childhood education center. Well, across town, another Catholic school that was close to shutting down 3 years ago is now breaking ground on a major expansion. As Adam Arrow explains, the project wouldn't be a reality without the generosity of the church community.
I think right through the holiday weekend with no rain. Wouldn't that be a treat? And a rare instance in northeastern Wisconsin.
Everyone's like shaking their heads in disbelief, but
I know.
We'll see.
We'll hope.
Thanks, Brad. Burning wildfires in California are now threatening people's health. Fond du Lac flood victim Mike Huffman says what his insurance company wouldn't cover, FEMA did.
We made my phone call to the insurance company, and they came out and evaluated it. FEMA came out and did their evaluation, and the next thing you know, the check was in the mail.
In Fond du Lac County alone, more than 1,600 people got a check in the mail. Out of the roughly 2,500 who asked, that's 65%. In Winnebago County, the number is 68%. Green Lake County, 43%. In Calumet County, it's 59%.
We want to help every single person that's eligible, and it turns out to be most people are eligible.
But yesterday, when we asked FEMA exactly how many people in the counties in northeast Wisconsin got a check, they refused to tell us, saying it was their policy not to reveal that kind of information. FEMA Public Information Officer Nate Custer even made a phone call to find out, but was not given the information to share. And instead of getting to talk to Custer today, we were granted an interview with FEMA's federal coordinating officer.
I think they didn't have that information available. I mean, not everyone's carrying that on them. That's the only explanation that I have.
Okay, because I was told it was policy by one of your public information officers not to reveal that information.
No, that's not true.
What is true is that it wasn't easy to find out how many northeast Wisconsin flood victims were getting federal money. Natalie Arnold, Action 2 News, Fond du Lac. Well, Bill, this is really bad here on South Street near the Fond du Lac River. Let me show you, and it's actually getting worse. You see right there that trailer. This morning, the water was at that trailer about 10 o'clock this morning. Now it's well past it. It's creeping toward us into the city. Now, they say it's just water coming from the river basin, but after a full day of recovery, this is the last thing the city wants to see.
Step here, all the way straight.
Justin Mansuto just bought his Riverside home yesterday.
Yeah, we were looking forward to moving in this weekend, and we kind of got a lot of other stuff to do now, so I don't think it's going to happen for a while.
Today, like many of his neighbors, he's dealing with water damage to his house.
It's hard on everybody because everybody's got an outlet go by. You know, my son's got to get his furnace fixed, his water heater, and clean his basement, scrub his basement down.
Fond du Lac is under a state of emergency. Flooded streets and flooded basements have virtually shut this city down.
They should stay home if they can. Emergency vehicles still need to get around Fond du Lac. They may save someone else's life that has absolutely nothing to do with this storm by staying home and leaving the arteries open so the emergency vehicles can get through.
The city is also asking people to conserve their drinking water and stay out of the flooded streets. About 100 residents are still evacuated from their homes, staying at the Red Cross shelter at the county fairgrounds. And the city is asking everybody to be patient and to work together through this very difficult time. Reporting live from Fond du Lac, Natalie Arnold, Action 2 News. Even while these Grand Chute firefighters pushed people on Election Day to vote for a significant tax increase, their own town leaders knew they would not need it, including their own fire chief. And yet, they said nothing. So you just didn't feel it was necessary to let the public know that you received this federal grant money prior to them voting in the referendum?
I guess I don't understand that question.
I didn't know about it until the referendum vote. It was Tuesday morning when I found out about it, or I would have.
The town chairman and fire chief also told us the federal grant will not cover the entire cost of additional staff. The question is, how much property tax money is the town going to need now? The fire chief is the one who's going to have to figure that out.
I don't know because I haven't had a chance to sit down with Administrator Roloff because he's on funeral leave.
Another question, what will happen when the grant money gets used up?
That's the question I need answered. I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Who is going to answer that?
I don't know.
What Marsden is certain of is that Grand Chute property owners will get a break. At least on his part, he says there will be no attempt to try to spend the approved property tax increase somewhere else. The fire chief doesn't think they can.
Now, if we don't need it, we just won't levy it. That's all there is to it.
Natalie Arnold, Action 2 News, Grand Chute.